Welcome back, everyone. Now let's begin with the age-long maxim that says not good deal goes unrewarded. So it has been for a Nigerian lady known on X as Debbie_OA. Now, she started trending on social media after she shared on X how she wakes up at 4:50 in the morning to cook for her husband. And following reactions generated by the tweet, some users commended and supported her by donating more than 2 million naira and other gifts to celebrate her dedication. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has also offered a free petrol voucher worth 200,000 naira to this woman. Gentlemen, this is another story that reminds us of how great Nigerians are. I mean, and Nigerians who love, generally, I think Nigerians love grass to grace story. First, I know this is not the first time this is happening on social media. I mean, I've been on Twitter for a while, but this is the first time this kind of story is generating this huge reaction. Azuko, let me start with you. What do you make of this story?
I think it's just one of the feel-good stories that we started the year with, where everybody just wants to comment on issues that are not of national importance.
It is. if the home is not at peace.
But the only thing is, what I mean by national importance, politics and all that.
Yeah, that's the root.
That's the root. You're now going home to the home front where a woman is telling you that, come, I want to protect my home, so I need to wake up very early, for me to prepare food for my, husband and all, so that my husband does not go out and be sharing spoon with a colleague. And not just a colleague, but a female colleague for that matter. So everybody is just trying to protect their home from what she did. She's just trying to protect her home. And it signals a lot of things, for particularly those who are the career women that we have now. You might have your house, or your job, but you must also look at the home front, because how the economy is now, so many men like us might not be saying it out. We might be going through a lot of things, and but we'll not share it with the woman because we don't want to, cause commotion in the house. The pressure is so much, out there. And for her to have even come on social media to say, this is what I noticed from my husband, but I want to solve this problem. And the only way I can solve the problem is for me to go further. Instead of sleeping till 6 o'clock, let me wake up at 4 and prepare food for my husband, put it in the cooler, make sure that everything is done, so that when he's going to the office, he's not thinking of eating or sharing food with one Fumi or with one Ekaite. Because the thing is, where I come from, you don't know, human beings are not generally particularly when they are very close, something can happen. So she did a good thing, and for Nigerians to have even supported her means a lot. And because I saw on social media how she was just thanking everybody. She was wild with all the accolades and gifts, including the NNPC giving her voucher.
Some of the lawyers are even offering pro bono services. You
can see. So sometimes we like overdoing these things.
Is it overdoing?
But no, because it has not gotten to where a lawyer would even.
It doesn't matter.
But my own is that she has set a good example for women.
Yeah. For
women to make sure that they maintain and keep the home front intact. So if your husband is going to work apart, especially now, make sure you cook that food for your husband, and then the man is going out. Particularly in Lagos. Particularly in Lagos. I'm saying Lagos because most of the times we will leave very early in the morning. Most people working on the island, your husband does not even have that 8 to 9 hours sleep anymore. He has to wake up very early too. So you as a woman, you have to wake up early to make sure that your husband is properly taken care of before he sets out. All
right, so part of the reactions that led to this huge kindness, so to say, from so many Nigerians is that some persons have said, or some online feminists have said, Nigerian men are trying to prove a point with this, because one of the tweets that generated this reaction was a pregnant woman waking up at 4:50 a.m. to cook for a grown man, a grown adult?
You see, the problem with some of these people who call themselves by some of these names is they try to force their views, personal views on people. And they don't know in doing that, they're committing a crime. Because there's freedom of speech, there's freedom of association. You cannot prescribe to a couple how the standards they must set. Insofar as you don't have any breach of the law between them, maybe domestic violence, or abandonment, or maltreatment, or ill treatment, you can't prescribe for a couple. You are talking of 4:50 a.m. My wife goes to work over a long distance and gets up at 3:45 a.m. And she insists that she has to get her home in order because she leaves for work at that same time when the woman gets up to prepare food for the husband. 10 minutes to 5, my wife leaves for, but I wake up at 3 a.m., to do my work online and all of that. So are you not going to tell me that, oh, it's patriarchy, all of some of these things have come with social media. We didn't even know about some of those things. Our mothers those days, who were nurses, working shifts and all of that, would leave home very early. Remember Lagos then. How many roads were in Lagos?
Yeah.
There was even a time.
Few cars on the road.
There was even a time you had odd and even days.
Yeah.
For vehicles on the road. So it wasn't so. You had to wake up early. You had to move. So I think people should. Some of these things are just an exhibition of toxic character. It's a woman's lucky day. I wish her all the best. But I think beyond the issue of whether it's food, sharing food with a colleague or sharing spoons, is the fact that, you see, there are certain things that can be taught to people about running a home, that you should make sure such a way the man shared with the wife freely. Instead of antagonizing the husband, the woman made an effort to even help the man. If you sit them down and start that, you'll be surprised at what they do for each other. Right. What the man does for the wife, what the wife does for the man. I think people should mind their business.
All right, Vicky, good afternoon to you. So let's have your opinion on this. Is this Nigerians rewarding a virtuous woman or just showing what humanity is all about?
I think Nigerians are showing that it makes so much sense to be not just a virtuous woman, but a virtuous housewife. This is the sort of woman that will bring our children up in the right way. There are those who think that this is the time to desecrate our culture, our tradition, and ensure that everything is inverted. This is a season in which some women make up their minds to not get married, or if they are going to get married, they should simply get married to a woman like themselves, which is against God's design for man and woman. Because if you marry a woman like yourself, the chances of procreation are not there. Some of them simply want to be baby mamas, get pregnant for an individual and live alone. They don't want to subordinate themselves to any man. They feel too big to be under one man's control, to be under the same roof with a man who will be the husband. So these are the kind of people mocking a woman who has clearly not done anything wrong. I praise the parents who brought up this woman because it's not difficult to know the kind of parentage that she passed through. That is what we are seeing. Somebody just put out a tweet and you can see the kind of response that it has got. What this means is that most Nigerians are against this penetration of foreign culture into our own, into those things that we hold dear. It is not our culture for the woman to see herself has been at par with her man. The man is the head of the home. And if you, as a woman, do not want to accept that the woman is the head of the family, the head of the home, then it's better you do not get married. Because at the end of the day, the marriage could become violent, the marriage could come to an end sooner than later. So this woman has set the right example, and I'm really, really happy that she's getting the reward for it. At the time she made that post, she couldn't have imagined that all of this would come.
Absolutely.
And she's an educated woman, with a degree in geophysics. Now look at all that is coming her way, and I know that it won't stop. At the last count now, about 5 million has come to her. She's married to a school teacher. School teachers don't earn so much in our country.
Yeah.
They earn so little. We don't value teachers here, and you can sense that that woman has a lot that she needs that she doesn't have at this time. She wanted just a gift of a bedside fridge from Santa Claus. But look at what has come her way now. This is the way God does his things. I know that many Nigerians have removed God from their lives, but I believe in God, and I know that God is an excellent rewarder of good deeds. Yes. So this is what we are saying.
Absolutely, and we can also agree that this is grace playing out, and her many years of asking God for destiny helpers. Congratulations to her, gentlemen. Let's move on to our next story. Nigeria security